What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and we have a huge UFL Eugene update. So we are going to get into that. But before we do, I wanted to tell you a few things that drive me crazy. So first things first is, why on God's green earth does the CEO drop the big announcements with all this exciting future, update additions and whatever, all the big juicy stuff? Why on God's green earth does the CEO announce it on his personal X account, and they don't announce it first on the main website or on at least the main game social media, right? All you see here is a bunch of nonsense. Fair to play, which we know is bullcrap. Free to play, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Oh, totally wrong. And yeah, just on repeat. That's what you see at the beginning. If you go to news, you go here and you see, oh, subscription rewards, which, by the way, sick kits. We already know customization, great. Too bad everything else is piss poor, including how they drop their news. All this BS, a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Updates. What? Wait, update? Oh, new stadium visual updates, Adidas content. So, yeah. Anyways, this is that hot fix, I believe, with the goalkeepers. We're releasing the goalkeepers. So you get what I'm saying? But when you go over here, you get the juicy stuff. So right now, this is Eugene Nashalov, the CEO of UFL. Hey guys, a few words about what's coming in May, which is next month. What, like a week, 2 weeks? Who knows? We don't have exactly when in May yet. But Hypercharged Team of the Month. Okay, so that's another juiced up skin edition. If you remember, that's kind of what they did with St. Patty's Day. That was actually Team of the Month cards based around a St. Patty's event. So this is just a Hypercharge will be like, the card style, I guess you could say, but it's essentially their Team of the Month. What's crazy is there's nothing Team of the Month about those St. Patty's Day cards, right? Why they didn't just call them the St. Patty's Day event and then the Hypercharged event, right? For Team of the Month, they need something more like uniform, right? So, for instance, in FC, you have Team of the Week, and those cards are uniform, right? Team of the Season. You get what I'm saying? These are basically just promos, almost like in FC. Again, you have different promos. You name it. There's 7 million of them, but they all have their different card designs. So that's kind of what this is. The Team of the Weeks, or Team of the Month in this case, should have their own uniform cards. Then they could do Hypercharge an event separate from that, right? The more skins, the better, now that they are apparently utilizing them the right way, right? With all of the big boosts these skins give, people get excited for that. I even said it before, the most exciting UFL event for me, or exciting, moment, period, on the pitch, in the menus, whatever, was on stream doing the whole St. Patty's Day, skin reveals as I got the packs. That was the most fun. So feed off of that. Not to mention, they make money off of it. So they just always do things pretty piss poor. They could have Team of the Month separate and then have these big events too, right? But I'm fine with less money spending, more working on the pitch. So let's go on from there. Co-op in ranked mode, right? But from one console at the moment. Can someone explain what that means? Does this literally mean like co-op, you and a buddy go to each other's house? What does that mean? This is stage 1 of co-op implementation. Full co-op is coming later this summer. One console at the moment. I literally think that means like you and your buddy, can hang out together at whoever's house and play co-op. But I'm not positive. So if you have a buddy that you play online with in Europe, you're maybe from North America like me, either get ready to pay some money for some airline tickets, or you're going to have to just wait. That's what I think it means. I could be totally wrong, right? But that's what I take it as, which is almost crazy they even announced that. But anyway, Skin Lab. Okay, so this is good, actually. So we can get rid of those low-quality skins. It's a 2-step in the skin system rework. So basically, who knows what the next step will be, but you can finally get rid of all the nonsense skins that you no longer will need and maybe never even used, right? Next, you have collectible challenges. Oh, wait, the second step in the skin rework would be collectible challenges for the skin cards with special rewards. We will announce that once ready. Who knows what that will be exactly? A collectible chum. I'm guessing it means like, this is total guess, but you get all the skins in one like collection, and then you can get, whatever, maybe one ultra skin for it, or X amount of CP or whatever. That's what I'm assuming, but I could be wrong. Then 2 installments of Players of the Week. So 2 installments of Players of the Week. No idea what that means, 2 installments, but now instead of just Team of the Month, the Players of the Week, I'm assuming, again, it will be along the same lines. Skins for these certain players. Who knows if you'll have to go buy all this stuff. Like St. Patty's Day, I dropped X amount of money and I got pretty much all of the St. Patty's skins. Or, sorry, the Team of the Month skins that were basically St. Patty's skins, right? Then we have the Dragonborn Team Pass. That's after this Adidas Team Pass ends. I guarantee it's going to be awesome. I mean, Dragonborn, it literally sounds like some Game of Thrones stuff. And we all know the customization is great. So I have no doubt they're coming out with some insane stuff, which I don't blame them, right? Take advantage of what you're good at. And customization, you are amazing with customization. So, of course, I will almost bet everything that this Dragonborn Team Pass is going to be insane. Minor core gameplay updates. This is where you start falling off again. Why only minor core gameplay updates? Because there's major core gameplay issues. AI, general mechanics, movement, etc. And of course, they're extremely vague. Now, they don't do good with details in much of any of this, but the most important thing, they say minor core gameplay updates. The most important place to be detailed in, they get the most vague, right? So that's May. Nothing too crazy there because the on the pitch, action is terrible right now. The way to score goals is literally 30-yard snapshots with Ronaldo, 30-yard snapshot finesse shots with Ronaldo or whoever. It's no use in, breaking down tactics or providing tactics and all this or talking about that, because even if you break down a team, the goalie's going to save everything. So you're better off just saying, okay, whatever formation, I'm going to use something that has a ton of players back, right? And then, larger central midfielder like a 4-5-1 or a 4-1-2 where you can smash players in the center to try to steal the ball from the players running in a circle to get that 30-yard shot. And then get Ronaldo yourself or somebody that's similar to take those 30-yard shots. I mean, that's literally it. That's why you haven't seen much content from me, because I'm not going to blow smoke up your you-know-what. I'm not a faker like some of these other content creators. It's no use doing the best this, the best that, the best this, because the truth is, guys, that's all. What I just said is the meta. 30-yard, second touch shots, preferably finesse shots from Ronaldo. That's literally the best way to score. If not Ronaldo, again, somebody similar. So hopefully that gets addressed. But again, nothing in these notes from old Eugene on anything like that. So you're providing all this exciting news for a broken game, so what's the point? It's just a bunch of lipstick to put on the same pig, basically. So June, July, of course, the Dragonborn Team of the Month. So again, that's going to be a continuation of this hypercharged Team of the Month thing where you get this Dragonborn, the Team Pass centered beast mode skins. Okay, so again, that's going to be awesome. That's great. For Player of the Weeks, wait, up here it says 2 installments of Players of the Week. So notice the one is Team of the Month, but it's not Team of the Week, it's Players of the Week. So who knows how many there will be, but 4 Player of the Week. So I'm assuming there's one each week. That's what I'm assuming. One beast skin for one player each week. That's my guess. Mystery card event, who knows? That's unannounced yet. Of course it is, dummy. It's June, July. So nothing on that. Unannounced, of course. Playstyles, that could be awesome, right? But again, what good is it when you break down a team just to have a goalie save 95% of the chances? When the meta of your game is run in a circle to get or run in any way you can to get an open 30-yard shot with preferably Ronaldo. So what are playstyles going to matter? You have to get that core issue fixed. And every time you try to fix something, you have another core issue that comes up. So you have to get the game where there's no core issues. That's the first step. Just like your initial release. The only issue you can maybe say was a core issue, which again, this was defendable, by the way. But the only maybe core issue was the over-the-top lob through balls to the strikers. You could get through on goal a lot from those. However, if you manually pulled your center back, you could defend those. If they could just, even if they started this with, on this date, the game will go back exactly how it was on the initial release, I would be ecstatic. I would be right back in, ready to play. The day that happened, I would be all about UFL again. Now, I wouldn't give up on eFootball because I have a mission there too, but UFL would be right there next to eFootball as the co-main events of this channel, if that makes sense. However, that's not the case. So as I'm reading all this, it's all just kind of like bittersweet, if you will. Full co-op in June or July. So still, we don't even know. It could all be all the way in July, which is what they do. They just keep holding us off on a lot of this stuff. Player versus player tournaments, again, June or July. Visual updates, what the hell? What general mechanics and animation? Okay. Updates to address fluidity and control, that could be interesting, but again, too vague. And the fact that they added this next one is hilarious. Hair updates, guys. Hair updates. Really? And then more stuff. So here we go with this one. Summer is going to be hot for PC players, so expect news to come up soon. So corny. So ridiculous. If I was a PC player, I would be so livid because they've been stringing you guys along forever. We needed some time to prepare the content train after the Leprechaun update, and now these updates will become regular and much more fun and relevant. Keep punching. We needed some time to prepare, kind of like the 8+ years you took to develop this dog crap. Or sorry, 8+ years that you took to develop a very basic but fun, I will give you that game, just to ruin it in like a month. So you release a bunch of skins and you needed some time to anyways, guys, if you can't see the disappointment yourself, then I don't want to bring you down, but I'm also not gonna lie about this. I mean, this is just a bunch of crap until they really fix the core issues, right? Maybe if you're a rat or an exploitative piece of crap that doesn't care about football, that just wants to win. Oh my gosh, I gotta win in UFL, I gotta win. It doesn't even worry about playing football one bit. Just whatever it takes, I can win. I can get to Premier Division. I can get my CP. And then you don't even need it because you got all 91 cards, right? So these skins also, are they just going to keep getting better and better? Are these going to take your players to 92, then 93, then 94? I mean, even if they did that, pretty soon they're going to be in the hundreds. What is this game? Where is this going? You know what I mean? What is this game going to do when the player of the months and the team of the months and this and that, and after the Dragonborn skins, and then also the hypercharged skins, and then now all these players have these beast mode skins. So everybody has even doubles, maybe even triples of all these best players, right? Because the best players in football don't change. Then let's say you have icons. How many are you going to release? How many legends? Nothing about that, by the way. Remember, legends are coming, icons. It looks like that was a bunch of crap because there's nothing about that in here. So it's just a bunch of the same crap, different day. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I mean, obviously, the customization stuff, we know it's going to be great. But who gives a crap, right? No details on fixing the core issues, man. That's insanity. That is insanity. So that's where this is way worse than eFootball. Let me tell you what the problem with eFootball is. Konami recognizes the low level a lot of their players. So what their problem is over at that game is they have such a watered down version of a great football game. But they still have the great football game. They just have all this AI nonsense to keep these low level players paying and buying players. But they have the legends. They have the great football ability. So that's why players like me keep going and will keep playing that. You don't have any, for one, legends in the game. Well, really, that's not the main part. The for one part is you don't have a good football game that's watered down. You have a game that's totally in the trash can with so many exploits, right? With so many issues that none of this other stuff matters. At least at the core of eFootball, it's good football. You get what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. I'll keep, I guess you could say tagging along for, whatever is coming on with UFL. But honestly, as much as I wish there'd just be a 180, or I'd wish they'd provide details on how they're going to fix these core issues that are making the game virtually unplayable. I wish they would let us know those things. I wish they would at least be honest with us, like, guys, we can't fix this stuff. Okay, good, then a lot of players can stop wasting their time. Of course they're not going to do that because they want your money for these big hypercharged events and Dragon Ball Z event or whatever, Dragonborn event. They want all your money for these skins and stuff, so they're going to drag you along. But the truth is, the fact that they're not talking about how they're going to fix all these core issues, it tells you everything right there. I mean, they're saying it loud and clear. For those of you who are wondering why I don't play UFL and why I'm just sort of keeping my fingers on the pulse of the game instead of actually playing. That's why right there. So keep grinding, keep having fun. Again, don't get too discouraged. If you need a football game to play, come over to eFootball. Is it perfect? By no means. Are there issues? Absolutely. But can you play beautiful football? 100%. And that right there should be enough to get you excited and enough to make you leave this nonsense. However, if you're enjoying it, you don't mind the exploits, you don't mind all the rats you're playing, by all means play, right? The have fun part is extremely important. So if you're having fun, keep at it. Until next time, peace out.